Hey guys, here we are in round 4 of the Vintage Daily event, and our opponent is Arianeira, and he has won the die roll. He keeps his 7, and of course, it's unfortunate, but we're going to have to mulligan this. Yeah, we got to keep this. We got a workshop, and we got a mox. Unfortunately, we don't have a lodestone to play out yet, but let's see how it goes. Okay, Sol Ring's pretty good. We're going to get a Revoker on that, though. And a Sphere, I think. Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty nice. I'm pretty happy to have gotten that. There's no way of really hiding here. I mean, you know, if he wants to force a will, there's not much we can do about it. So I'm just going to play out a Thorn here. See how that goes, and then we'll follow up with the Revoker. And if this gets through, then I think we're in really good shape if this gets through. If it doesn't, we get forced, then we're not nearly as solid, but particularly if we get tinkered. Okay. Getting a Sol Ring here is very significant. We're going to be able to take off here shortly. We're going to be able to get a Sphere of resistance down, as well as Phyrexian Metamorph, so pretty happy about that if that's the case and he doesn't take off on me here. If we draw a Wasteland here, okay, so we're up against Oath, and Oath is slightly problematic here. You can't actually cast an Oath of Druids right now. So he's preordaining, and I'm absolutely fine with that. We would like to see a Wasteland here. We would like to see a Lodestone Golem. Wormcoil Engine. We can cast a Wormcoil. Problem with the Wormcoil Engine here, I mean, it's twofold, because he just preordained, and he's probably going to have a land. If he has an Oath of Druids, he's able to get over us, and I just don't think that's a good idea. Casting Wormcoil here. I mean, if he missed a land, we're very solid for sure, but I just don't think we're in a position to do that. And what we'll do here is we're going to metamorph our Thorn of Amnesis, and we're just going to beat down. Okay, so he's got a Force of Will here. No, he can't Force a Will us. I was going to say, he can't Force a Will. That scared me for a second. I'm like, what's happening here? And we're going to put that on the Thorn. And that's going to bury him pretty deeply here. And we're going to be able to cast a Wormcoil next turn. So if all goes right here, we should be able to pull this off if he doesn't string together a whole slew of lands, but he is still officially 2 lands away from casting anything. Like, I don't think my opponent realizes he can't cast anything here. Oh, a Mox Jet he can. My apologies. That was actually a pretty nice play. Wasteland would be good. Revoker. Wow. Nice draw. We are absolutely going to revoke that Moxen. Is that correct? Is that correct to do that? Because next turn he can cast an Oath if he has it. Yeah, we just got to do it. Now we shut off our own Mox, but that's okay. It's not perfect, but we're gonna have him close to a 2-turn clock here, and if he actually taps out for anything, we're gonna get another token, being able to finish him. So we're trying to keep him off a land here. My opponent did not play any lands, and yeah, that's definitely lethal. I guess he's got a Force of Will, and we know he has a Force. It's 3. He can't actually cast it. And Lodestone Golem is going to do it. That should fetch a concession. He's still trying to Force of Will. I guess he can pay the 3, but it puts him at lethal next turn, and he still cannot cast an Oath of Druids, so which is fine. And even if he gets an Oath of Druids out somehow, it's not going to be enough. He would need a Hurkyl's Recall, I guess. 2, 3, 4. He's got 4 mana. He still can't cast a Recall even. So this is definitely one of our tougher matches, guys. We've struggled against Oath as of late. But we certainly have the tools in our sideboard to be able to combat it. And as you can see, sometimes we just get ahead on spheres and revokers. That was a very stereotypical way things work. Witchbane Orb is very good against him, and of course 4 Grafdigger's Cage. Now, Crucible Worlds is pretty mediocre. Null Rod is actually alright against him. I really don't mind Null Rod. But something's got to give here. I think Wormcoil's fine. We don't really need Wormcoil. Slash Panther is decent, but I don't know that it's really what we're looking for in this particular matchup. Null Rod is fine. I like it more so. Maybe I don't really like it. On the play, I don't really like it. Maybe we're crashing here. On the draw, or on the play, I like it. On the draw, I don't like it as much because he can get all his Mox out. And if he's got an Oath of Druids, there's nothing I can do about it. So let's see. I'm going to get rid of a Chalice of the Void here because Chalice, once again, is not as good on the play as it is the draw. And of course, it's got very poor synergy with Chalice of the Void and Grafdigger's Cage. So let's see how this goes. I mean, my best 2 cards against Oath of Druids are Duplicant and Witchbane Orb. Witchbane Orb is also just an all-star against Hurkyl's Recall. Wow, that's an interesting hand for you guys. And it's not one I'm sure I can ship either. This can be very bad if we're facing a turn 1 Oath, and it can be very good if we don't. I don't know if I can keep this. Because what if he Force of Wills my Steel Hellkite? We literally have nothing. And what if he's got a turn 1 Oath? We have nothing. Like, this is an all-in play, and I'm not sure I'm all in on this here. And Arianeira's kept to 7. I think I'm just going to mulligan. It's just not good enough. And I'm very happy I did mulligan here. Double Wasteland is solid. If we're facing an Oath of Druids, yeah, it's bad. But having a chance to be able to cast a Witchbane Orb is pretty good. We just gotta hope it doesn't get Force of Willed. And we didn't see an Orchard here, so we're okay. That's good news for us, guys. I don't think we can actually Revoker here is the bad thing. I mean, we could play the Revoker on the Mox Jet, but if he found an Oath, we could be in trouble. But Wasteland sets us back from being able to cast. Oh, okay. Well, we do have the Witchbane here. Did we just cast the Witchbane? I'm gonna wasteland him. We're not under any pressure here whatsoever. And I'm just gonna play the pearl. No reason not to. And, you know, who knows, maybe he doesn't have another land. No oath, eh? Alright. Well, let's try it. Let's try and get his jet. Alright, he doesn't like that. So he's going to be vampire tutoring here, I gather. I don't see any other reason to do that. Or Hercule's recall, one or the other. And I'm fine with it. Okay, abrupt decay is fine. Very happy to see an abrupt decay there. That seems ridiculous to waste an abrupt decay on that. Well, that's a card I'm very happy to see. You know, guys, I think I just wait for him to tap out. I mean, Witchbane Orb is very good, but do I want him to have the orchard? That's the question. Just going to take his Volcanic Island. I have no qualms with him. Let's try and get some damage in here. Far from perfect, but let's see. Let's keep trying to beat down here, guys. It's down to 4 cards. We're getting closer. Ever so close. And I don't think I play a cage here. Like, I don't see any reason to do it. You know, we've got enough of a sneak attack now that we can play a Witchbane Orb and a Graph Tiggers in the same turn if need be. And it would involve him to have multiple counters. And he's not showing us any counters, so... let's keep beating in here, guys. And I'm going to try and set my Chalice at 2 here to keep him off Oath of Druids. And, I mean, it's not perfect, but that, I've got a Graph Digger's Cage in my hand, and I don't really want to do that. Put it at 1, so... let's see if we can get that through. And our opponent's struggling on mana here. We would love to see a Wasteland, or God forbid we had to not sided all our Null Rods out. What do you mean, very happy? I'm just going to play the cage. I don't see any reason not to do it now. We've got the Oath covered. We'll have a cage. We'll have a double play down. Alright, so he's got a Force of Will for that, and that's just fine. He's down to 3 cards, and he obviously does not have an Oath of Druids in his hand. Okay, Abrupt Decay. That's fine. It's down to 2 cards. And that bodes well for our 2 anti-Oath cards here that we have in hand. It's not perfect, but... I like that as well, because that allows us to get our Duplicant into play now. I'm going to jam it. I don't see why not. Let's see if we can get her in. Witchbane Orb is a good card. Alright, he doesn't like that one. We'll take a token. Puts him on a 3-turn clock. He's going to drain that. I can live with it. He's got all our stuff, so hopefully he does not draw an Oath of Druids here. Sensi Divining Top's a good one. The good news here is even if he gets an Oath of Druids into play here, we're going to put him down to 6 life, and we have an uncounterable duplicant in play. We will be able to cast an uncounterable duplicant the following turn, and he will not have enough life to actually activate a Grizzlebrand. This is, of course, all under the presumption that he's running solely Grizzlebrands in his Oath deck, which seems to be the trend in Vintage these days. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully he doesn't activate his top. Okay, he didn't, which is good for us. Yeah, we just try and plow in here. I mean, we don't have a choice. With this player strip mine, I don't see a lot of point. I guess he's at 1 card. I guess we're just going to take away his island here. We'll leave him with his... Did we leave him with that? He's got a green mana, he's got a black mana, and yeah, we're just going to leave him with the Orchard. Just trying to slow him down anything we can here. I'm not sure if that's the correct play or not, but he has, you know, like 3 mana in play right now, and if he's drawing a land, then that's not very good for him. And we have him on a 2-turn clock right now, which is pretty solid. Yeah, if we got Vault Keyed, that would be bad. Alright, I'm actually not unhappy to draw that. Problem is I don't know which one is which, but anyways. I think this is my original one. Once again, this has to do with unfamiliarity of the new client. It doesn't show summoning sickness, so, but that would be pretty devastating if we miscalculated there somehow. And yeah, guys, I guess if this gets through, he's got a turn to pull it together. So he's digging with his top, and hopefully he doesn't get anything, guys, and we can pull this out. You know, this is kind of the spot where it's like you're hoping your opponent does not drop a vault or a time vault on you. But it does happen. And my opponent didn't see there. I mean, my opponent is dead next turn. What he should have done is he should have tapped his Divining Top, untapped it, and then played it again, tapped it, and he would have got to draw 2 cards. And then he could have played it and dug a little deeper. But, you know, obviously my opponent made an error there. So we got into the money at 3-1 in this Vintage Daily event, and pretty happy about it. Took a pretty big beat in round 2 to Bug, and yeah, that happens sometimes. But it looks like our new iteration with without Tangle Wire, which is a really big loss to the deck because of the bug that's on Magic Online, worked out. And unfortunately, Null Rod was not the house that we thought it would be. This is more in there for you know, for the mirror matchup with Forge Masters, or for Storm, which is very reliant on their artifact mana, or Welder's Slaver decks that are going around. It really hurts those type of decks. So regardless, we got there, and pretty happy to get 3-1 tonight, guys. So we'll see you guys in a day or two.